Good evening and welcome to Body and Soul Awareness with Stephanie and Oxana. Here are your hosts.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Stephanie.
Hello, Oxana. How are you, darling?
I'm all the way on the East Coast.
I know. Is it warm? Is it warm there?
A little bit warmer than last week. Yes,
good.
But last week was extremely gloomy, and every day I would wake up, I would be pretty much, my windows would be covered in white fluff. So.
Oh, wow.
We had fog every probably day last week, and not last week, but the week before and half of last week. And it was right around inauguration, and that's why I was thinking, very
that's
interesting.
why it's so gloomy. It's just not only a sad day for America, but a sad day for the world and humanity as we know it. But anyways, not to get into politics because they make me throw up.
So yeah, anyway, the weather's gotten definitely warmer since last week, and it definitely helps. It does help because it's vitamin D. You are able to wake up better.
Fresh air.
Yes. So it's good. It's good now, but it was a little bit tough couple of days last week. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, we actually got it pretty bad here. It was raining really bad for like all last week. For at least a couple days out of the week, it was like pouring down rain. Like my car, I thought it was gonna get washed away, but luckily it didn't. We were good. But today and yesterday have been gorgeous. It's like 72 degrees outside. And when I say 72 degrees, like it's weird because in Virginia, 72 degrees could still be like a little chilly. But here, like with the sun beating down on you, it's like so warm outside. It was so nice. So I'm really grateful that the weather is nice because we got out. Me and Kai went on a really long walk yesterday, and he got to play at the playground in the near the beach. So he's always happy when he's sitting in sand.
72 on the beach. Oh, that's
beautiful. Yeah, but it's so funny because I was just saying today that like it's so amazing when it's nice outside because you can go out there, you can smell the fresh air, you can be in nature, and even if you're not like right in the middle of the woods nature, you can still like be around trees and birds and grass and there's flowers, you know. I can luckily just walk to the beach, but like it's so nice, and I hate cold winter weather when you have to stay holed up and you have to be cuddled in blankets and have your thick fuzzy socks on, and you don't want to go outside because it's so freezing.
Well, as you were saying all of this, I was thinking in my head, because it was, it's been kind of cold and it's tough to be outside right now, and I completely miss nature. I so miss nature. It's crazy. But at the same time, I'm forced to be inside because I'm completing all of these classes, recording. So it's kind of working out, even though I'm still missing the nature so much. But because weather is cold, I'm forced to be inside, and I have to be inside. So
and then just like the cycle of nature, so is the cycle of our lives. Yeah. So it's going to get warm and time to be out soon. I'm excited. Definitely big things happening this year.
Indeed. I think it's going to be an amazing, crazy, probably even, I want to say, fast year, because I'm sensing a lot's going to be happening.
It is, and it's actually the year of the fire rooster.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to just read about that a little bit because I think it totally falls in line with like what's going on, like not only in my personal life, your life, but like kind of everyone's.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway. But then also it's the 1 year too, so that makes it like really interesting. But anyways, okay, here we go. His crow alerts us that a new day is dawning, but we must rise and mobilize into action as we come together for the well-being of our roost or planet. So all Chinese wisdom traditions, including medicine, divination, astrology, and feng shui, are a system of pattern identification that guide us in adapting gracefully to change. A world in flux is assumed. It is the one constant feature of life. Astrology is best viewed as a tool to discern where we are in shifting cycles of time, so we can adjust our expectations accordingly and therefore, from the Chinese point of view, cultivate longevity by not wasting our ki trying to swim against the current. Last year's current schooled us all in crisis management as the fire monkey's erratic impulsiveness and dramatic flair produced an unprecedented bit of theater in American politics. Yes, monkeys love to play spin doctor in the political arena. Fortunately, a new chapter of the story is about to begin with the arrival of the fire rooster on January 28, 2017. So this was yesterday. This chapter might be titled Application, How to Walk Your Talk and Follow Through. That brings us to the possibilities for 2017. This year's theme is application. The rooster has one special superpower, the ability to delay gratification and focus on the long-term goal. Roosters can actually separate the reward from the work required to get it, and they can do this over long periods of time, like years. So whatever feelings you may have about the upheaval created in the monkey year, the key will now support you to focus and apply yourself to the task at hand with discipline and diligence. Set aside your emotions and focus on long-term goals. Stay focused. That's right. See beyond the current situation and keep your eye on whatever it is that you value in the long run. Just keep chipping away without wavering. Apply yourself. That's what this year is all about.
Mm. That's nice. And
I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was from mysticmama.com. So I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, so I guess let's talk about last week's homework. You were not on last week. So last week's homework was to have an interview with your future self. And this is an in-depth conversation that requires preparation. You have to actually write out questions and actually visualize yourself in a conversation with your future self to give you clarity on who you will be in the future. And then it also touches on the past and how far you've come, right? So this was a really interesting homework. I did this homework not this past week, but I did it actually when I first started chatting with Renee, probably I think it was October, November of last year. And it's a very interesting interview, let me tell you that. I did sit down and do an in-depth Barbara Walters, Oprah interview with myself, kind of in a meditation was how I did it. But it's interesting because everything that I was talking to about my future self, or to my future self, I feel like I'm somewhat experiencing or starting to set in motion all of the things that I was talking about. Because Oxana, for years and years and years, I have been talking about it's all about women. It's all about women being empowered. It's all about women regaining their strength and understanding their true potential. And that's been something that's been a focus of mine for a very long time. Like I said, you can attest to that, Oxana.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true, yes.
Yeah, and I'm finding that that's actually what I'm going to be working on. We're actually brainstorming kind of a movement or a community right now. So I'm really excited about that because that's kind of all coming into play, and that's something that I've been talking about for years. So that's definitely something that I talked about in my interview with my future self. I was in a much different situation than where I'm at now, and I'm really kind of excited to get to that point, but I'm really also excited to kind of see how everything falls into place to get me to that point. So things are going to be really exciting, I think, definitely over the next year, but really over like the next few, I don't know, I'd say 5 to 7 years, things are going to be amazing. And we're going to look back and I'm going to listen to this radio show and then be like, oh my gosh, look where I was then. Look where I am now. Yeah, but anyways, it was a really good homework for me. I hope everyone got benefit from that. I don't know if you've ever done anything like that, Oxana, that you could add to.
I haven't done the Barbara Walters and Oprah interview. Next time, I'll definitely put myself on a couch. But I mean, my future self is always with me in a sense, you know, because I haven't done the interview, but my focus has evolved as we all typically evolve. And, you know, sometimes this is more in tune with me and I'm connected with that. And then I maybe have experienced it or not. And then maybe I'll feel it differently the next time. But overall, and I've done this kind of exercise that you're talking about now, Steph, with a few of my personal, I guess, teachers, and when I worked on myself in depth and figuring out what's going on in that head of mine. And I certainly have a big picture of my business in the future, which will be very much connected with the feminine energy of this of our existence. In which form or shape, I'm very open still to it, but I know that I've always also thought of women being empowered, and not just women, but the feminine side of all of us, because we all present that energy. Yeah, because because men in physical form need to connect with their feminine side, and it doesn't mean they have to become women or none of that, but express healthy emotions, you know, being truthful with things, not covering up, you know, just like all society has taught us for them to do, pretty much. So it's for them as well. And I definitely visualize running my practice, and whether it's at the resort that I envision to build, where it is going to be held, or I also definitely thought of creating a community as well, because I and you, Steph, know that when you go through these changes that do occur as you start being more and more self-aware and aware of everything around you, you go through these very, very uncomfortable changes, and you lose your equilibrium. You don't know what the heck is going on. So all of those things can be confusing, and they were for me at least. And I would love to have some sort of place for people to just come in and anytime they want to, whenever they feel off, whenever they don't have anyone to talk to or just want to get away, the community will be open and they can, exchanges can happen. They can just go and meditate or dance or whatever. So I've been playing with that idea that I think it's, amazing to have somewhere where people that are going through something what I've described can go anytime. And I think classes can be held there for different kind of lectures, That's
I think that's a beautiful idea, and I think I will be visiting that place often.
Exactly.
So 3 years, right?
I know. In about 3 years. So yeah, I have all kinds of yummy things that I would love to implement with time. It's just, how it is, those practical steps, you kind of have to get to that point. And but it's exciting.
I hate that part, to be totally honest. The practical steps, they're just such a waste of time. I need my ruby red slippers to work. Where is my wand? How come everything isn't working as quickly as I need it to?
Get your fingers, use a magic wand.
Yes,
and
I know.
But there is something to it as well, because when we talk about energy and everything is interconnected,
yes.
We can enhance, we can align ourselves and gain that stability and understand when it's the right time to make those steps and when we should make those steps. So with evolvement, just like it's it can get a little bit easier because we start noting, in our heads how we can maneuver through this interesting life.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that I wanted to say about that is that's fine, alignment and everything, but I still want a wand with sparkly fairy dust, okay?
You and me both. And a little and unicorn, please.
Yes.
With wings.
So, exactly.
Bye.
Well, so we have to get our special guest on, and I'm going to let you read his introduction for obvious reasons, because you're not going to mess up the pronunciation. Could you go ahead and do that for me, sweetie?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to have him on the show. Very excited. So we have Hasan Khadiyev. He's born in Russia, lived in Tajikistan until 1995, and California until 2015. He served in U.S. Marines from 2000 to 2004, spent one deployment in Iraq. After getting out, after getting out, then he's also worked as a small business owner for 8 years in California. After that, he moved to Ecuador in 2015 in search of growth and new challenge. Now he's working at a small retreat center close to the Amazon jungle, and he's learning from ayahuasca and learning to be of help and guidance to others and learning the language and culture of the country. Nice. Very exciting. I am very curious to chat about ayahuasca and the medicine and connection with the nature and his very interesting history. Wow, let's bring him on.
Yes, Hasan, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you great. We're so glad that you can be on tonight. I don't know about Oxana, but I'm so excited to kind of learn more about ayahuasca and how it can benefit people and help them with, I was reading up on it, like so many things from like depression to just tapping into your higher self and different realities. So please, first of all, give us some information about you, like how you got to be in the Amazon jungle.
Well, for the same reason, just like you said, you wanted to find out more information and like how does it work and how does it help people, and it really is like a doorway. And in my experience as well, it has helped me greatly to overcome certain things, to become more emotionally stable, more grounded, more present. So, in search of understanding more about myself and about the world around me, I ended up here in Ecuador. And it's been a journey because it's like phases, we have to go through phases to kind of understand our next step and then take the next step, and you don't really know where you're going until you're halfway into taking the next step. So this is kind of how I ended up where I'm at now.
Oh yeah, that's the truth. So why Ecuador?
Well, I came to visit to try ayahuasca 3 years ago. And then I really fell in love with the country. People are very gentle, very joyous, very nice, harmonious. And me coming from an opposite of like living in California, it was like an opposite lifestyle. I was like shocked because it was so heady. Like living in the States was very heady, like very in the head, very rigid kind of patterns. And I realized that even though I grew up being rigid, that I'm not really that rigid as a being. So I really like the people here, the families, the communities. They're so connected. They're so like emotionally intelligent. I'm learning a lot just by living here, obviously.
That's beautiful. Yeah, you've mentioned being. So can we talk about being on this planet as a being? Because Hasan, looking at your history, at your background, it's very colorful. And, like my background is Russian as well, but like you coming from, serving in the Marines, living in Russia, and now you are literally connected with the indigenous culture of Ecuador. And it's such a big 360 for me. So I'm just kind of curious to see, like, because I totally understand what you're saying. You're going through levels and levels and levels. It looks like you've had a lot of layers and levels to go through, right?
Yeah.
So can you go just a little bit into it, if you don't mind, so we get an idea, how
it's
people
like
go through this? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, like when I'm growing up, I think I'm this or I think I'm that. And then having different experiences, you kind of expand yourself and then expand yourself to realize that there is more to who you think you are and that there is more sides to you. And I see it as like, like you're uncovering parts of yourself, and that self is actually the being that you are, which doesn't really have any definition of good or bad or any kind of judgments like that. It's just the presence that is here on the planet, and my intention is to tap, be connected with that, at all times. But that is it. That's like realizing that there is more to who we are and that we are actually a being. Like it's the literal meaning of the word being. We are being here. We are the presence here. And that's like, we have to understand that to become like the witness in our lives, to really step back and kind of diffuse and defocus ourselves and kind of come into more of a rounded state of being. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. So how old were you, may I ask, when you started noticing that something is not right in your life? Or you're not
it's been
who you are,
Yeah. It's been 5 years. Honestly, I can say it's been 5 years. 5.5 years ago, I was on the opposite end, and I was making fun of people that talk about this kind of stuff. And I was, I was in the military.
Steph, are you
so
there?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm here.
That's actually interesting. Wow. So you are progressing fast. It's only been 5.5. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I literally started meditating 5 years.
I know.
Yeah, I literally started meditating 5 years ago, and the first time in my life that I ever sat down to meditate is when I felt something. And when you feel the sensation, you can't deny the sensation. Like my logical mind had to go through a big shift to actually accept that and to realize, okay, there's something going on here. I'm sensing different stuff, And then you're like, okay, like what the hell is going on? What am I doing? Like all these questions come up because the mind wants to find all the answers to fulfill whatever it's picking up that's new that it's never experienced before, and that's how everything got started.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, yes, I hear you. So that's interesting that you, wow, well, that's awesome because we were just talking with Stephanie about our future selves in 3 years, and you are 5.5 years from where you were. That's amazing. So we are getting closer to the commercial break time. I don't want to go too much into ayahuasca just yet, but I definitely would love to hear.
You know what? Let's do this. Let's go ahead and do an early commercial break, and we'll come right back and start talking about ayahuasca.
Nice. Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
How would you like to make your work more enjoyable, be more creative and relaxed, all while sitting at your desk? That's exactly what my Serenity Rug has done for me. This revolutionary footrest, I can't even call it a footrest because this thing encourages movement of your feet, which results in more blood flow. While traditional footrests advocate the motionless placement of your feet, I found that I'm unconsciously digging my feet into the long, soft grass strands of the Serenity Rug. It delivers an incredibly relaxing sensation that closely resembles the feeling of an exotic foot massage. If you have ever had a foot massage that made you want to stay there for hours, you know what I'm talking about. If you have not heard about the Serenity Rug, check them out at serenityrug.com and join the exclusive Serenity Rug community and enjoy a feeling of comfort and relaxation that most will never experience. They've sold out before, so I suggest you do your feet a favor and grab one of these. Again, that's serenityrug.com.
Body and Soul Awareness is a radio show geared towards anyone ready to reconnect with their true selves and get back into balance. Spend 90 minutes with us, Stephanie and Oxana, business owners and friends who are eager to discuss the importance of taking responsibilities of your own well-being. We are two ladies on a mission to be the best possible version of ourselves while helping others to do the same. We will share our own life experiences and practical knowledge of how to take responsibility of your own well-being by implementing lasting lifestyle changes.
Yes, there are lots of toxins out there. Yes, there are lots of bad things going on in the world, and even people with bad intentions. But no, we are not here to talk about that. We're here to help you to discover positive lifestyle changes to help you navigate through ingeniously designed chaos. Join us and our guest speakers while we discuss topics like natural living, nutrition, skincare, healing arts, consciousness, meditation, self-awareness, spirituality, herbalism, body, energy, movement, and more.
Join us live every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on freedomizerradio.com. All right, everybody, we are back live on the air with our special guest, Hasan Khadiyev. And I wanted to remind everyone that our special guest call-in number is 319-527-6208. So if you want to call us, ask us any questions, just listen in, you can do that as well. But if you want to talk to us, just dial number 1 and we'll get you on the air. So, all right, tonight we are discussing ayahuasca and the benefits of it, what it is, how does it work. I kind of wanted to, just talk a little bit about, mind-altering drugs, natural drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate using the word drug. I kind of want to even say medicine for most of them, right? But I know that there's a, huge... Yeah, right. But there's a huge taboo on a lot of, I think, medicinal herbs just in general. even when you, I don't know if you've ever, I forget what it's called, when you're at work and you put money into an account. It's a spending account. It's a healthcare spending account, right? And a lot of people have them. And they put tax-free money in there, and then they can use it to pay for healthcare. But you can't buy herbs with that. You can't buy supplements with that. It all has to be like either prescriptions or like what they consider medicine, you know. So there's a huge taboo on like any type of like herbal medicine or healing. But I kind of wanted to kind of just open it up with saying there's a lot of different medicines that I'm aware of that are beneficial, that are herbal. Like, okay, so lavender, if you have a headache, you can take some, or you can put some lavender essential oil on your head, maybe add a little bit of peppermint essential oil, and it's going to help the pain in your head, right? You're not going to have that pain anymore. And that's great to use. So I know that there's like a little bit of taboo on like ayahuasca. There's also marijuana, that there's a huge taboo on it, but it has great medical benefits. So I kind of wanted to talk to you, Hasan, about, a little bit about ayahuasca and like how you came into it. First of all, like why were you like, hey, I'd like to try that? And was that something that there was a taboo kind of around when you started or when you decided to have the experience?
No, definitely taboo all around, for sure. Growing up in Tajikistan, like relating to my family, it was totally anti-drug for everything. It was so rigid, it's not even funny. It was so hard for me to overcome that part of my family and my history of being so anti-everything, and then flipping around and actually realizing that plant medicines are the original medicines that we are all meant to consume and take them, you know, as food is a medicine as well.
Yes.
You know?
Totally agree.
So with like my experiences 4 years ago when I first tried ayahuasca, and, you know, I'm just speaking from my experience. And I don't know everything. I don't know that much. I'm just really have experience that I wanted to share with everybody that is interested, you know. So in no way I have all the answers. I just have my side of my past, you know, my story.
Right. Your story, right.
Trying out ayahuasca for the first time, I came into it, well, originally I tried cannabis, okay? And I realized that there's something about that as well. Like that cannabis was probably their initial door opener in my case, where it made me realize, okay, there's something going on here. It's not just a drug people get high on. You know, I'm having like understandings and realizations and more healings. It's like this is something else. It's not a drug, as they say on the mainstream kind of way. So that kind of was the initial doorway into understanding that, okay, plants grow out of the ground, you know, there's something going on here, you know, there's some kind of a connection that we have with these plants. And trying out ayahuasca, you know, for the first, there was 3 ceremonies I had, it was very eye-opening. Like it was heart-wrenching. It was hard because you get sick sometimes, or you have to expel, you know, you have to vomit sometimes. So it's an intense process. It really is. It's not like just take a little pill and you get over your stuff. Like, no, if you're gonna take ayahuasca, you're gonna go serious work of facing your dark side, your shadow, your things that you've been denying. You know, and for me, it's like I guess a little aggressive with myself at times. I like to really dive into things and figure it out and kind of take an aggressive approach. And ayahuasca is an aggressive approach. You can do many therapies and counselings and semantic therapies and all things like that, which I have done as well. But ayahuasca just takes you right there, puts it right in your face, and it shows you, hey, like, did you think you knew everything? And right here you can see that, no, there's something else, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. And it's like, you know, it brings up more questions, and then you have to kind of research more and understand more, and then humble down again and say, okay, there's something more here. I have to like take a stance as a student and kind of not pretend that I think I know everything. And, you know, it's really humble, you know, have that first facial experience of like really having it in your face. Like that really is humbling. It was very humbling for me.
So if I understand properly, it's like a very kind of controlled ceremony where there's a shaman usually there and people to assist you through the process. So could you kind of tell us, like, just walk us through the process of an ayahuasca ceremony and how it works? Give us an idea of, like, how long it takes, stuff like that.
Sure. So usually ayahuasca is taken during the night. It's considered like a darker medicine, to where it's all internal. It's all about your connection to yourself and your connection to your world around you. And the ceremony is done at nighttime. You take it after dark, after sunset, and the journey or the trip, you can say, lasts about 4 to 6 hours, depending on the person. And because it's DMT, which is dimethyltryptamine, and there's it's extended for that period because it's combined with a vine, so it's 2 different plants mixed into one, cooked for a long period of time, to where you can have a longer journey of expanded awareness. And you take it at night, you lay down or relax, you close your eyes, and you start to kind of get into your space of being kind of grounded and present at the moment at the same time. The shaman is there to help you get over certain things. Sometimes when the shaman sings or whistles or plays an instrument, the music is designed to kind of help you get over those humps of kind of blocks that we have, to kind of get into the flow. And that's the whole process. For the first hour, you're kind of getting into the flow of the medicines. And then most people reach a certain point where they have to expel the medicine that they're no longer able to kind of take. They don't need it anymore. They vomit the medicine out within an hour or 2 hours. And vomiting doesn't always happen, but it's...
Sorry, question for you. So the shaman is there with you. Is it, so shamanic experience that I've had, like journeying, they actually go with you on the journey. Is it very similar with this? They go on the journey with you, or they're just there physically with you? Does that make sense?
Depends on it depends on the shaman. It really depends on the shaman. Some shamans drink it, some shamans do not. I like to be the ones that drink it, that go with you, and they do stay there because even if there's 2 or 3 people, you both are getting in a similar frequency, and because we're all connected and we're all one, that those parts of us merge together with other people that are there in the ceremony. So then it becomes like a little community ceremony, and it becomes about community and reflecting of each other, seeing yourself and other people, seeing the reflection, seeing your own truth. So it is a community medicine, and it is good to do it with people, because there's like more things to deal with when there is other people present, instead of just doing it alone where there's nothing else except yourself in a sense, and your nature and your spirits and stuff. But the shaman is there. He's there the whole time. He's drinking it with you. Sometimes during the ceremony, they usually do a healing. When they get into these spaces where they're very sensitive, they'll come up and they'll do a healing on you, which is called Olympia, and they'll perform. Well, sometimes they'll say something or give you a tip about something or some kind of question you have. And we work with many shamans down here, and everybody works differently. There's different tribes, different cultures, different ways of doing things. But the process is the shaman drinks it with you. Takes about 4 to 6 hours. You do it at night. Sometimes you purge, which is vomiting. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get very dizzy to where you have hard time walking. It's almost like being drunk. You have hard time being focused on how you're walking. So you need some help sometimes, And this is what we do. Part of my job is to help people just to go to the bathroom or to kind of walk, or if they want to relocate. That's part of the ceremony, is to assist people if they need to get up and go to the bathroom, or if they need like a tissue or something like that. This is part of my job, is what I do here.
So it's very much getting out of your body, it seems.
It's actually, I don't know. To me, it feels like getting into the body more, because you start sensing everything that's going on inside your body. So it's very visceral. very up close and personal with your sensations. There's times where you feel like you start sweating or you get really cold, but it's really, I feel it like it's really more about being right there in the moment, present with your body, as the medicine helps the body go through things, because we have to go through things to kind of get over some humps in our emotional and our mental state. And ayahuasca will help with getting your frequency up high enough to where you can actually understand what's going on in your kind of lower realms. And then you can kind of see the bigger picture, and then you can get over and let go of certain things. But, generally speaking, go ahead.
Yeah, you're pretty much detaching from your roles that you're playing here, and you can look at them, my assumption, right? You can look at your roles that you're playing here in your physical form without any energetical, emotional attachment. I mean, you are going to be going through cleansing of them, but you can see them clearly, right? So you literally, you don't react to it as in this life. You would simply observe, feel it, right? Am I understanding it correctly?
Exactly, because what the ayahuasca does, it shows you, like this is what I've experienced the first time I took it. I realized there's loops. We have loops in our mind, okay? The loops are running all the time. And what I saw in myself was this loop that was going and repeating thought. And I noticed like, oh, there's a thought coming. Oh, I allow it to happen. I reacted unconsciously, and then it perpetuated again. So then it comes back again, and then again, and then I realized the continuity of the situation. I say, oh wow, this happened 3 times in a row. There's some kind of loop going on with me. Next time it comes up, I'm not going to react anymore. And because you're able to kind of, you're very present, you're conscious. You're not like you can talk, you can do whatever. You're very aware of your thinking, who you are, and everything. And because you're so clear-headed, and at the same time very kind of submerged into this reality, you're able to kind of observe it, but not kind of jump and be so unconscious about reacting to things. Because it shows you, like a teacher, it shows you once, twice, 3 times, and it even says, are you going to repeat this or not? And you're like, oh, wait, I just did this a second ago. Well, I'm not going to do this again because it's going to start some other loop again, to recirculate this mental pattern that I'm having about something,
Yeah, wow. So you've experienced this 3 times, right, so far?
I've done it many times. 3 times I did it first time. I did it first time 4 years ago. I'm way more than that. I've done it many more times after that. I try to stay regular with.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I was just saying that I sometimes I feel cold going back and taking it. Sometimes I don't want to take it for a month, because I'm here. It's easier for me because I just kind of work. And this is why I'm here, is I'm working on my own stuff, my own understanding, my own mission, so to speak, my own intentions, bringing that out.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask you. What drastic, I guess, changes have you noticed after you started going, on this path and journey? Physical changes or emotional changes, mental?
Oh, yeah.
You don't
the biggest
have to
change
go all the way in depth, but just in general, like what changes?
Yeah. Like the biggest thing that changed everything from my view was when I first started to meditate, and I realized that this is the key that like triggered everything in me, is that I realized that I am in charge of my own emotions. I am in charge of my life. I don't have to be in a reactionary, self-protected, scared state. If I don't feel comfortable about something, I can do something about it. If I feel fearful or shameful or I'm not certain about myself, I realize that I'm the doctor and I'm the patient. I'm the one that can make my own life better. This is the biggest.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better myself.
Yeah, it was very humbling for me to realize that we have this power. We have this power. We are in charge. We can do this.
Instead of pointing fingers at others, right? You can just look.
Exactly.
Because that's the thing. If we continue pointing fingers, it's never going to stop. We will never understand what we are, who we are, what the actual truth is. And that's, that's why Jesus didn't promote it. Cool. What else? What else can you share?
That's a big key too, taking that responsibility. I have the feelings inside of me. I'm not going to point the finger at somebody and say, you make me feel this way. It's like, I'm feeling something inside of myself. Let me own it and understand it more so I can harmonize it with my truth, with the truth of the world. And it's very, like, it may be simple things, but those are big things.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I love Osho, and I don't know if you've heard of him. And I actually have
love him.
Book. And every time I read him, I think always he's so simple. But because he's so simple, it's so complex. Because we've complicated everything so much with our brains here that simple becomes complex to us. And that's kind of what I always think when I read him, because he's so simple. And to us, he's complex. Wow.
That's right. And as I get it, as I get it, we can see the truth in most simple things. This is the lesson, right? It's not about some complicated situation. It's more simple things. Okay, like I need to get up and go get something, and if I can't do it, then I can't accomplish simple tasks in life. We have to move in 3D world, and that's like the biggest indicator. If we can't even do basic things in our reality, like there's something going on. So this is definitely is the key.
Well, and you just brought a good point, good topic. Actually, it kind of connects us also to what we were talking about earlier about the community for those that go. Is, maybe you can share your side of the story, because we certainly experienced also some of these things where you are changing and your internal world is changing, your surroundings are changing because you're internally changing. But then again, you still kind of have to function with the rest of the world who are potentially not changing, or some of the world that is not changing. So that's kind of a very sensitive, very interesting balance that initially we all kind of have to grasp when we start changing, and then you feel fine. I mean, you find your ground and you figure out how to maneuver. But what can you tell us about how you conquered the changes while you were going through it?
I think it's kind of in my it's in my personality. Like I'm always very open to change. Like I realize that everything, because it's almost like how can I say this? I see change because, my life, there's been a lot of changes in my world, changing, living, growing up here, growing up there, and then moving around and doing things differently. Like that kind of preset me to be able to accept change in my life, learning a new language, things like that. And the part of it that was like important to understand was that everything is inside of me and there is no fear, there is no fear. If you can just be with yourself and be the being that you are, and then you realize that everything is changing, but the presence, presence is what's remaining. And you tap into that presence, and some plant medicines do that. They help you get into that present state where you just become the witness of everything. And you just detach from, like you said earlier, reacting to things or being your old-fashioned way or your old way like you were, because you're so detached and you become an observer, So taking that space of an observer, and for me it's a sensation, it's like being in the flow. It's like the river running through your body, and you're in the river, and you're present with the flow of who you are, and your being as it's like, how can I say? It's like you feel the connection, the connection inside of us, that we all carry.
Yeah. Have you left Ecuador since you went there, or you stayed there?
Yeah. I came, I guess, 3 years ago now. So the new year, I have to add another year. I came 3 years ago for 3 months, and I actually worked at a place, at a retreat center with ayahuasca, and I volunteered and I helped people go through many ceremonies. So that was a very good experience. Then I left, and then I came back last year in the beginning of the year, and I left once. Yeah, I went to California one time to visit family, and then I'm back here again. But I'm here. I'm permanently here. I'm not. This is my new home, so to say, and I want to make a life here. So it's challenging. Like I have to learn the language. I'm still working on that. I have to connect with the community, but at the same time, part of me understands. The more challenges we go through, the more chance we have to grow up. Grow up and become more than we were. So it's very kind of like. I mean, part of it is even doing this right now. Being on the radio with you guys. It could be a challenge. Maybe a few months ago I wouldn't have done it. So I'm here. I'm happy to be here and happy to share my story, because then it becomes. I try not to make it about me as much, although it is my experience. But I wanted to really say it for the people. Like, hey, here's this thing that works. Maybe you can try it if you want to, if you're interested. That's really my intention, and that's what I wanted to say is that my intention is just to kind of speak my experience and not so much make it about me, although I kind of have to because it's my experience. So it's kind of a paradox.
Well, I mean, we all always speak of from our experience, and I hope we do, because if we speak of something that is not what we've experienced, then it's not. We don't even know what we're talking about. Kind of like media, we read something, we think it's truth, but in reality, we don't know because we haven't experienced it firsthand. It's kind of like people talk about other countries without being there.
But it's so
I always
common.
smile.
We live there. People live in those spaces where it's just a thought land. You're in idea land. You're not really in a vivid life. You're just in an idea land. You're having these ideas. You have understandings, but you don't have any experience. And I realize that we have two sides to us. One side that thinks it knows everything, and one side that actually is the one that's experiencing everything.
Yeah, there's so many sides of us. Oh wow, yeah.
For sure.
For sure, yeah. So, well, I guess your adjustments weren't as difficult because you kind of stayed in Ecuador and continued your journey. You didn't have to go back to, California corporate world.
Real life.
Yeah, definitely. It's been years in the making. I wanted to get out of the country a couple of years ago. Because I had my business. I was working. I was financially stable. I had everything I kind of wanted, financially speaking. But then I still wasn't really content. So then, it's been 2 years in the making where I was tired of doing my job. I was tired of doing what I was doing. I was tired of being in the area. I just wanted to, it's maybe a little too intensely, but I wanted to get away, And I wanted to get away to the jungle, come here to the Amazon, because I feel like being down here is really bringing it close, bringing it close.
Well,
I
and
always
that's
said that. I got tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, and that's what I observe. More and more you connect with your truth and you and who you are. Truly, you want to get out. You want to get away from the craziness and just connect with nature, connect with yourself, be more at peace. That's what I observe with everyone, one step at a time.
Definitely. And, some say that you don't need to get away to kind of find yourself, and it's a tough question, because changing your environment will really help you change, your surroundings, and then change who you are and understand more through changing what's around you. So it's a necessary step. For me, it is a necessary step, because just, it's like being downtown but trying to meditate. Good luck. It's harder to do it
Right.
when there's so much around you that's going on. It's really hard to focus on a lot of distractions. So I chose to just take myself out of those distractions, just so I can come and find peace and not having. And honestly, 8 months into just living here, I'm still. Sometimes I still wake up and I'm like, oh, where's my phone? Like I have these work, reversals where I'm shifting back into my old mode. Like, wait, no, there's no stress, nothing is going on. It's like, oh my God.
You don't have to play that game anymore.
It's so ingrained, though. It's so ingrained. It's very crazy to me, to realize how many layers we carry.
Well, yeah, you have to get yourself outside of the programming, because regardless if you're in what is Savan calls it, the fake matrix. If you're in the fake matrix, which is what's been created by man, then you are stuck with dealing with those things. But if you get outside into the real matrix, which is our mother, the womb, and earth, then that's when you can actually start really, really getting inside of yourself.
That is so true, because being in the forest or being in the jungle, it's nothing like being downtown, you know. And yeah, synthetic matrix. I think that's what he says. Synthetic matrix. And this, I mean, you know what it is. It's most people are living there now. This is how it is, and it's a tough one because, I mean, it's a tough question because I don't feel like we can just unplug everybody. You know, it doesn't. I don't think it's not meant for that. I don't know.
I think I kind of agree with you. That it. I mean, we never know, of course, my guess, but I don't think it's that instant. Everybody unplugs things.
Well, and maybe it's not everyone's time. Maybe that's just a different cycle for them, and that's okay.
Well,
that's the cycle that they're in.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's the concept that Zen gurus talk about. Is it's okay. I mean, it's okay wherever they are. You know, that's the concept. Not necessarily that it's okay for them to do certain things, but that's what it is. You know, that's where life positioned them at the moment. So
yeah, definitely, and I really want to. This has been in my practice, is trying to see things as being perfect. You know, look at the world, look at everything that's going on, and say everything is perfect in a sense. Every effect has its costs. And if I can see the world as being perfect and it's just causes of its effects, then I'm not so like attached to it as much, you know.
Exactly. Well, because we're all one big organism, and we are all interconnected, intertwined. And I mean, it's actually easy to observe what's happening in us because we see it outside of us. You know, everything. You know, I don't want to go into politics, but politics. Clear of what's inside of us. Yeah, we are interconnected, so it's cause and effect, and we just have to be mindful what our focus is, because focus creates reality.
Definitely. But it's time for another commercial break, guys. We got to go to commercial. Sorry, we'll be right back.
Perfect.
Tune in to Forsaken Generation, Mondays at 1 to 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we will be revealing the true science behind vaccines, the harm they cause, the stories of the affected families just like our own, and much, much more. So tune in and get the stories that the big news channels refuse to cover. This day and age, we must protect our families from those sworn to do no harm. We will not ingest the lies any longer. Mothers, fathers, doctors, scientists, journalists, speaking out on behalf of the health of humanity. So, join my mom, your host, Lynette Barron, on Forsaken Generation, Mondays, 1 to 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Hello, everyone. We are back on the air live with our special guest, Hasan Khadiyev. Hello, Hasan. You there?
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Beautiful.
Hi, Hasan. Yeah.
Hi.
Well, we were speak about pranayama breath with you.
Yeah.
Somebody
it actually ties into. I was gonna mention that part about pranayama, breathing, and ayahuasca. How there's a big connection with breathing and taking plant medicines, and how plant medicines open you up to a state where you are kind of forced to realize that breathing is the most important kind of thing, that the most important focusing exercise, you know. And the one part I was going to mention it, like the place we have is like by the river in the jungle, very quiet, you know, there's nothing around. And ayahuasca, when you take it, I wanted to talk about, mention more about ayahuasca because you guys wanted to hear more about it. It puts you in a state, I wanted to, how can I preface it? It's like, what is it to go in a trance? What is a trance? People go into a trance and they're able to dance and do different things or channel different things or speak from a higher consciousness. What is a trance, And to me, a trance is when you're feeling like you're about to get really sick, feeling like you're about to get really cold, having a panic attack, or being in a high-stress state, okay? So with ayahuasca, it brings you to this edge, this edge of, you can call it a disc, or this edge of your consciousness to where you feel like you're about to fall off and something is going to happen, but you realize that this is where we're supposed to live, is right on the edge of the reality, right on the edge of the present moment. And with the breathing, I realized is how important is the breathing. The breathing is so important every day, obviously, consciously when you're not taking psychedelics. But when you are taking them, it's even more important to really focus on the breath and to kind of sense it. Because when you're breathing, you're doing the full body breathing, and you're really using that attention and intention to focus yourself. I'm gonna put all my focus on my breath, and that means all of it, no thinking anything. It's more of just focusing on the breath, witnessing the breath, and then continuing with the cycles of the breath. And it really is kind of it's like the key point, and I don't know, it's more like a key point in finding more calmness, more truth, more understanding in your life. Is to be focused on the breath throughout the day, and also especially in the meditation. And pranayama, there's many techniques. You can breathe really fast, you can breathe really slow, you can breathe shallow, you can breathe deep, you can do full body breathing. And I have a bunch of techniques that I'm trying to put on videos and put everything out that I have actually experienced myself. My central thing is the breathing. I'm more focused on the breath work than ayahuasca, because to me it's kind of my tool that kind of taught me many things, and I wanted to share those experiences, my own. But pranayama and breath work, it is the very key central point of taking plant medicines and being able to have experiences that are kind of meaningful on them. Because if you're not watching your breath, all you're going to do is just get sick, you're going to vomit, and then you're going to say, oh my God, it sucked, oh, it was not comfortable, it made me feel la la la. And I've seen those too,
Yeah. Hasan, I have a question for you. So say someone is interested in taking ayahuasca. Is there anything that they need to do beforehand? Do you have to go on a special diet? Do you have to abstain from certain things? What about your lifestyle do you need to adjust, if anything, to have it be as effective as possible?
Definitely. Every shaman is different, first of all. Everybody recommends different things. But the main key points that are kind of across everybody is no red meat, no alcohol, no other drugs, no sexual activity, all those things, abstinence. Because part of us, if we're gonna stop doing our bad habits, it just shows how much do you really want to get from the medicine. If you're gonna commit and actually do all those things, they are important, and the more dedication you put into it, it just shows how much intention you're putting into your ceremony. So yes, what they recommend is to not have any red meat for about 2 weeks before you take it, not have any alcohol for about a week before, not take any antidepressants like SSRIs. They're not compatible with ayahuasca.
Okay.
Alcohol, no sexual activity, diet should be very light. What else is there?
Because you're going to throw up everything anyway.
I would say
exactly.
Stephanie detox.
Say again?
Oh, I know, yeah.
Stephanie has a great detox. Maybe people need to just detox first and then go.
Exactly. That's what most people do. The ones that are coming to really work with the medicine, They go through a detox, they fast, or they do a juice cleanse. You know, it is important because when you get your body really clean, then you vibrate very harmoniously, you know? So, and if you have other things in your body, like animal products or chemicals or synthetic things, or, you know, you haven't done a liver cleanse, or you didn't, you know, take some herbs for your stomach, all those things are so important, you know? And yes, body cleansing, doing like a full body detox is the best thing you can do before ayahuasca. It really is. Because then you're so much more sensitive with everything and you get so much more out of it. So yes, diet preparation, intention, dedication, all those things are very important. And yes, you can't just come and do it the same day. Like, no, you have to prepare for this. And I think it's good that you have to prepare because then you'll take it more seriously.
Okay. Yeah. Now, so you said you work with quite a few different shamans. How do you choose a shaman? Like, what are things that you should definitely look for when you're trying to choose someone to help you with your journey?
Well, my personal experience, I want to see, I would like to see, for example, one experience we had, I was asking, okay, who's the shaman? Does he have a family? Does he have a wife? Is he a part of the community? Is he connected to his neighbors? Is he involved in his village or in his community? Is he an active member, or is he a local drunk that's trying to make extra money? You know, there's all kinds of people over, you know, out here. So yes, we have to be cautious, discerning of who these people are. And I've had my experiences with some shamans to where, you know, maybe I couldn't put a word on it, but I just don't feel comfortable, or I don't think he's fully committed. And yes, sometimes it's actually kind of intuitive understandings. But sometimes it's obvious, you know, the guy's showing up and he's smelling like alcohol for a ceremony, you know. So, wow, there's something going on here. And it is a trend, you know, and maybe the negative news get amplified more, but there are things that happen, you know, where shamans take advantage, or they're not really serious, or they're in it for the money, you know. And I've really seen this more. I didn't see it personally, but I see it on the news in Peru. You know, it's such a popular place for ayahuasca, where there's all kinds of people there because it's like a mainstream business almost. People are trying to make money off the visitors that are coming to heal. You know, so it's profound there. Here in Ecuador, it's really not that popular. I mean, it's popular. It's here. Everybody knows about it, but it's not like a number one tourist destination for ayahuasca like Peru is.
So, and if anyone has any more questions, definitely make sure you contact Hasan. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to kind of help you with that. Now, generally, we have our special guest help us out with our homework for the week. It's something that we do for our listeners to help them kind of just stay motivated and help them with their growth every week. Do you have anything in mind for homework this week?
Sure. One thing I was thinking about is being aware of your reactions, like when you're in your observations. Like, for example, if I walk into a store, sometimes my mind will produce a judgment about a person or in a situation. So if we can observe those reactions in us, or these judgments that automatically come out of us when we're in certain places, and notice them and understand them more. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Very good.
I love that.
Can you give us a little bit more how people can contact you? Did we?
Yes.
Get that?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're a very easy website, ayahuascaInecuador.com or harmonyretreats.com. And I'm working on the website now. It's called corebreath.com, which is going to be just my videos about breathing exercises. And it's corebreath.com. So ayahuascaInecuador.com, harmonyretreats.com, and corebreath.com.
People can contact you if they have any more questions,
Of course, yes. I'm here for people that are interested in experiencing this. I really get joy out of getting people that have never tried it to come and experience and say, wow, okay, something is going on here. Like I'm gonna like think about it some more. I enjoyed being this person, this part. I enjoyed playing this character.
Well, maybe Stephanie and I will come for ayahuasca session.
Oxana, I was just thinking that.
It's another gift for our birthdays this year. Second gift.
Yes, we have a lot of things to do for our birthdays.
I know.
I'll be expecting. For sure.
I mean, I've thought about ayahuasca for some time. I am not in a place where I feel like I must have it. It probably would have been years before now, but I definitely would be curious. I would be curious for sure because I've heard about it. I just now, it's confirmed that it's amazing to utilize, to go deep into yourself, and that's what I do pretty much every day. So I would love to experience that, Hasan. That would be awesome.
That's great. And, we have other plant medicines here as well. We talk about ayahuasca, but there's a lot more stuff here. There's San Pedro, and then there's mushrooms as well, psilocybin mushrooms. So we have all that here, and I'm trying to make mushrooms. Mushrooms actually grow here in Ecuador. So we have them in seasonally, but I'm trying to make it more regular because mushrooms is another plant medicine that's very powerful, and so is San Pedro, which is a mescaline-based plant.
Okay, so when you say mushrooms, you mean the same mushrooms that are like here in the States illegally?
Yeah, the psilocybin.
Is it the same kind of thing? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, they're legal. They're legal. Everything is legal here in Ecuador. It's all legal here.
Well, I think if it grows in the ground, I don't see how it can be illegal.
Right.
I know. It's a big argument. Yeah.
So is mushroom property it's similar to ayahuasca, or is it different?
It's different. It is different. Totally different. And so is San Pedro. It's totally different. It's a mescaline, like a peyote. Yeah. And
but it's,
we can go into more detail with that if you like.
Mm-hmm. We don't have much time, but I would love to chat about more, medicine, natural medicine. Maybe next time we can bring you back, for sure.
Yeah, great.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Stephanie? Should we bring Hasan back?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. We definitely have to do a part 2 of this series.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a whole page of notes I haven't even touched yet. I was going to say I have a whole page of notes I haven't even touched on.
Oh
man, yeah, we got to get you back on. I think I have some available dates in April, so I'll give you a call and see if you're available.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. Well,
thank you so much.
So we will utilize your homework for this week, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I really appreciate you guys, Stephanie and Oxana. I really appreciate you calling me out. Thanks for the opportunity.
Of course.
Of course. Thank you.
All right.
Right. Wonderful. So we have another trip that we have to go on. A real trip. Ha.
I know. That's true. When we were talking about breathing, how important it is, and what came into my mind, I connect with one of the gurus, Adashanti, and one time I remember listening to him, and he said, imagine not having a finger, right? Like you cut off your finger and you don't have a finger, and imagine not having air. So something that is closer to you, which is finger, you can actually live without. But without air, you can't. So breathing is so important. Even if you don't have a finger, you'll still be okay if you breathe.
And you know what's funny, Oxana, I don't know if you remember or not, but one of the first kind of like healing retreats that we went on was, wasn't it like a pranayama breathing thing at Yogaville?
Yes, actually, you're right. It was one of the first.
Yeah, and it's funny because I know that most people breathe wrong because I look at my son, when he breathes, my youngest son, of course, not my 15-year-old, but I look at him when he breathes, and I can see him breathing like all the way down to the base of his spine and releasing it all the way back up. Like you can literally see it happening if you watch him. Like, do you remember that exercise that we had to do where we had to like watch each other's breath and see where there was any like stagnation or pauses to see if there were any blockages?
Yeah, I remember.
I do that to my kids.
Yeah.
But it's really neat to see how, I was going to say, it's really neat to see how our bodies are really supposed to work.
It's true, and the younger ones definitely will show you because they're naturally doing it without faking it like we've learned. But you know what? I trick myself sometimes just to extend my abdomen, just naturally kind of extend it so my breath goes farther down. Like I try to kind of fake it in the beginning but then push it through. Because even though I teach that in my classes as well, I even sometimes very shallow breathing sometimes during the day. It's not good. It's not good for our body, even just physical form, because cells don't receive enough oxygen.
One of the tricks that I do, and I always tell Christian to do whenever he's in pain, is breathe in the oxygen and take that oxygen to the place of wherever the pain happens to be. Swirl the air all around the pain, loosen it up, and on the exhale, release it. And I found that to be so helpful in times of pain, especially like extreme pain, just to help you kind of get through. So it's so good, just not necessarily when you're in pain, but all the time, to make sure that you're breathing properly and getting lots of oxygen. Because I actually read this article that said that lack of oxygen is one of the main causes for the majority of the disease.
Yes, exactly. What you just described is literally a 101 healing of your body. Like you bring the air, you spend time, and you release the pain, stagnation, blockage. Yeah, so that's key number one. Yeah, breathing is everything. It's pretty much everything.
Yeah, definitely. Water you can go a few days without. Food you can go without, but oxygen is something that you definitely need. Oh, you know what's really cool? They have in Venice Beach, I'm not sure anywhere else, I haven't really looked for it, but they have these things called oxygen bars where you go and like you put this thing on your nose and it's hooked up to the oxygen machine and you breathe it in and it gives you like this serious like kind of like boost of energy, but it's almost like a head high at the same time, and you're like so full of energy and alert and aware. It's kind of neat. You have to try it.
Yeah, you just reminded me. My mom actually has been doing this special breathing too. It was maybe a year ago, so I don't know if she still does it, but she specifically bought this machine that actually just gives you purified, clean air, and you would sit there and breathe. You'll start slowly, shorter period of time, then longer, and I think it worked for her. I'm not sure. I'll ask her next time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Ask Mom how it's working.
I know. But yes, it's crazy how we have to have now machines with clean air to breathe.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's sad. The air is, I don't know. The air is not great. But there are places that you can go where it's a little bit better than others. Like go to the mountains, or you can go to the beach tends to be pretty good just because of all the wind. It seems to clear out all the bad stuff. But then, like, when I get closer into the city, like LA, it's like, like it just gets so dense and heavy, it hurts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. LA has its beauty there. I agree with you.
Definitely.
Okay. Well,
But
I'm excited that we had an amazing show. I would love to hear more about this topic next time. But anything that helps, anything, natural that helps to evolve, to be happy or happier, to be healthier inside, to
get more in tune with yourself.
To have more meaning in life for yourself. Anything that helps. What Stephanie and I do, what natural medicine does. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just different. It's different ways to awaken yourself, to awaken to yourself. I recommend.
You know what? I just had a thought. I'm going to get somebody on here to talk about the medicinal benefits of marijuana, too. We're going to do that soon.
Sure. I see so many videos of little children literally battling crazy diseases, and cannabis helps. And I think it's a huge medicine that is illegal for wrong reasons. And
a lot of things.
I think we're getting there. I think hopefully soon we will concentrate more on natural ways of healing or maintaining our health instead of the medical, more money-hungry industry. So I hope so. I hope so.
We'll get back to the medicines you can grow at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, we're almost out of time. So, so if you need to reach me, you can reach me at Stephanie@EdensBalance.com. My website is EdensBalance.com. And our Facebook page is www.facebook.com/Body and Soul Awareness Radio. Check us out, like us, leave us comments, let us know you like what we're talking about, or let us know if there's anything else you'd like to hear about. Oxana, your information?
Yes, you can reach me on my website. It's oxanaganchar.com, OXANAGONCHAR.com, or via email, mindbodyandsoul, all one word, at oxanaganchar.com. My phone number is 202-930-2530. I'm extremely excited. Yesterday I finished my first recording of my complete class. I have an ad ready on Facebook, so please reach out if you are interested. Soon it will be available in an 11-course program for everyone to evolve in a physical and emotional level and connect with yourself even deeper. So I'm extremely excited to share that with anyone and everybody. So that's my information. Stephanie,
awesome.
You have anything else before we head?
If you want to check out my detox program, I have another one coming up on February 15th. You can check out edensbalance.com/detox-program if you want to check that out, or contact me if you have any questions about it.
All right. Well, everyone, have a beautiful week ahead, and we will speak to you next Sunday.
Bye, everyone.